For those of you that don't know as of yet, we're entering into the First Fruits Sabbath, the Feast of First Fruits.
This is just a reminder on the Feast of the First Fruits. It ends tomorrow night, May 23rd at evening, so it would begin tonight. You can read the book of Leviticus 23, and it tells you that tonight into tomorrow will be a Sabbath, because it's a high holy day, a convocation, where no servile work shall be done. So tonight would be treated as a Sabbath, which would begin the ending of the Feast of First Fruits, and that would end tomorrow night at evening. So when the sun goes down tomorrow, that's when it would end. So we just wanted to make mention of that real quick, just pass it on, pass this video on, and let the brothers know, that tonight will be a Sabbath. So with that, I'll say shalom to the next time. Shalom.
And so, knowing that we're indeed in another Sabbath, this is a high holy day, and things are getting a lot more real. I'll have it up in just a bit on BitChute, but I did encounter an Edomite who decided to continue to shout profanities at me, so I went and, of course, I shouted back the scriptures right at him, called him as an Edomite, but nonetheless, though, pretty much, that was in downtown today, and so that'll be on BitChute later, Hey, this is real, man, this is what we signed up for. We're going to be hated of all nations because we speak in this truth. And like everything else, though, they know that their economy has crashed and that their system's going down. They won't be in power much longer. And they can see that they're losing everything, that everything is collapsing. Now getting on to, of course, the inflation bubble and what's going on there.
For how long will the U.S. government continue to pump the U.S. stock prices artificially? Everyone knows that the U.S. market is in the mega bubble. It is even more overvalued than Tulip Mania bubble. The U.S. stocks are insanely overvalued and overbought. The valuations are impossible to justify. For how long can the U.S. government run this fraudulent stock bubble? While corporate revenues are tanking, corporate and national debt is astronomical. The valuations are beyond insanity. Political polarization is at maximum. There are ongoing and upcoming wars. The real resources are limited. Economy is collapsing. Competition is intense. The stock dilutions are at record highs. Everything is getting worse. China, Russia, and many other countries are set to ditch the US dollar as an international reserve currency. The US dollar isn't that much stronger than where we were at the beginning of last year. It has dropped to a 3-year low, and it could dip another 10% lower. The dollar has been flirting with lows again, as the dollar index, DXY, dropped to a low of 89. This is the third time since April 2018. The DXY has been this weak, and some analysts think it could drop even lower. When you have a private central bank for over 100 years, it's only a matter of time when the general public completely gets wealth robbed. It happened in 2008, and they will take the rest soon. Stop printing for a week, and stocks would collapse by 30%. And the Fed and the government would declare a state of emergency and martial law. Pretending everything is booming is fine when you can print money and buy and prop up everything. Stop the money printing, and the tide goes out real quick. Meanwhile, talks of de-dollarization looms as the US is seen to further isolate itself from the rest of the world on trade and economic engagement. Sanctions imposed on Russia and Iran are forcing these two to look to alternative reserve currencies for international trade and commerce. This is where China and the Chinese renminbi come in, as the currency begins to position itself as an alternative to the almighty US dollar. Some countries are planning to use the US dollar as a standard no longer. A financial reset must be coming soon. Welcome back to the Atlantis Report. You are here for your daily dose of the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Which is what we have here at Great Millstone is 100% truth. These Edomites know it, and that's why I was confronted earlier today at camp. And like everything else, as soon as I can get a small little video clip of that, after the file's processed, I will get it up there. In the meantime, though, this is what's happening. It's going to get a lot more real. because they're at the end of their kingdom, and pretty much the house of David has been built.
Barakateh Hawa, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rucha Kodash. Welcome to another live lesson. This is pretty much just an update to Elder Apostle Tahar's channels. They got him on strike on the other channel he was uploading to, so he'll be uploading for the time being here on GMS Declaring the End, and also on what is the 666 Mark II GMS Truth. So these two channels here, Elder Apostle Tahar will be uploading his videos to, so if you haven't subscribed to either one of these channels, I suggest you subscribe to them so you can be edified, and get your daily dose, of the truth. So I put both of them in the description box. Sometimes if you type them out, it'll come out, you'll find it, but sometimes some channels are harder to find than others. So just subscribe to them if you haven't, and just look here, click the bell, the icon bell, so you could be alerted, when the apostle puts up videos on these. So you could, I know sometimes brothers ask on the comment boards, where's the apostle's page is at, because they're striking videos and not allowing brothers to upload to their channels, so this is a way that we can network, so to speak, to get the apostles and elders and bishops and brothers channels, give notice to the congregation where they can go and watch. So GMS Declaring the End, what is the 666 Mark II GMS Truth, you can find both of those in the description box. Click them, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and if there's any other changes, Lord's will, if they don't take my channel down, I'll keep brothers and sisters, in tune with where the apostles will be uploading. So with that, Shalom, and Lord's will, I could come later with the lesson. Don't have anything as of yet, but got a couple ideas coming to me, so Lord's will, I could touch on that when the Spirit hits me. So with that, Shalom.
And that's just it. You already know what's going on with my channels, as I have Israelite Foreigner 3 through 8, and there's a 9 channel as well. If I can't upload the 8 has a warning on it. So this is what's going on with the dollar crash, as you know, though, that they're moving towards a digital dollar. The Amazon of information, Goldman initiates on crypto, sees Ethereum overtaking Bitcoin. Yeah, because they're going to nationalize Bitcoin. A lot of people have been getting visits from the IRS because of their investments, because they are auditing those that invested in Bitcoin. I am pleased to announce the formation of this firm's cryptocurrency trading team, which will be our centralized desk for managing cryptocurrency risk for our clients. The crypto trading team will be a part of global currencies and emerging markets, reporting to me within the firm's digital assets effort led by Matthew McDermott. So, indeed, though, everything's getting nationalized and is coming. See, Goldman relaunches crypto trading team. So, those that thought that, okay, I'll use Bitcoin as an alternative, well, you just got crashed. But hey, there's more, though, with, and this is another brother, man, who's always putting up videos on fire the way that we all ought to be, but nonetheless, though, America's so-called comeback, right? It ain't coming back. America is dead, and they know it. That's why, again, man, they pretty much howl, because they know that what we speak is the truth. They ain't got much of a kingdom now. And I only put the title Israelite Foreigner Rating down below so you can find me on BitChute. That's all that's about, That way you know where to find me. Not because I take credit for other brothers' channels, because I don't. But we need to be looking at each other's videos and watching them and getting edified, which is what I do with this channel.
Shalom, everybody. Early morning news session. Okay. All praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakudash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect out there. Alright, this is entitled America's Comeback, Weather Extremes, and Mid-East Ceasefire, among other things. Okay. Among other things, a lot of other things going on as well. Okay, various news. So let's get right into it. We got a lot to cover in a little bit of time. This is going to be 1 Thessalonians 5 verse 1. You know, the main topic being America's comeback. They, you know, everybody talking about that. Not everybody, but the news people are talking about the comeback of America. So this says the day of the Lord. 1 Thessalonians 5 verse 1, it says, "But of the times and the seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night." So as we've been pushing, those of you out there that's fully invested into the truth, don't be all messed up now because you thought the pandemic, that was the end. If you know prophecy, you know that the pandemic wasn't the end. Okay, other things got to happen. The mark of the beast, World War III, Jacob's trouble, 3 major prophecies that are going to come to pass. So this is a good thing that they're saying America's comeback or things going back to normal, peace and safety. That's a good thing that they're saying that, because the scripture says, we'll read it again, 1 Thessalonians 5 and 2, "For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night." So it's going to catch people off guard. So in order for them to be caught off guard, they need to not be paying attention. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them. As travail upon a woman with child, they shall not escape. So there you go. "But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief." So regardless of what's going on, we ain't gonna get caught off guard, because what are we doing? We're watching, as the Lord commanded us to do, to watch as well as pray, right? Let me open that window up and grab a few scriptures on watching. Because that's what the Lord commanded us to do. That's why we watch the news, to get into it. Even though we know that the American media is full of crap. They're going to, you know, try to control the narrative and filter things the way they want it done. But it's our job to take the news and re-filter it back through the scripts. So, you know, they can say whatever they want to say. We know what the Lord is doing. He told us what was coming. Let's see. Just hold tight right here. Let's grab this other window. So, yeah, we're going to just watch and be sober. Alright, let's see here, watch. See what we get. So many scriptures deal with the word watch, right? Alright. Let's open it up. So this is going to be Matthew 24:42. It says, "Watch therefore, for you know not what hour your Lord does come." We're supposed to be on guard, always ready, so we don't have to try to get ready, right? Matthew 24:43, "But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would not have suffered his house to be broken up." Same sentiment. Pay attention. Stay watching what's going on. Verse 13, or Matthew 25:13, "Watch therefore, for ye know neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man cometh." Right? He didn't give us a calendar with the exact time. He said, look for the signs. Let's see here. Matthew 26:41, we'll start at 40. And he cometh unto the disciples, and findeth them asleep, and saith unto them, Peter, what, could ye not watch with me 1 hour? Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. And you can easily slip, paying attention to, the things of the world, as the scriptures tell us over and again, on different instances in the scripture, tells us to do what? Don't get so messed up with the cares of this life that, that choke the word and you become unfruitful. You get wrapped up in the cares of this life and the lust of other things, and then it can choke the word. So as the scripture says, watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. You have many Israelites come into the truth, then you get the hip-hop demon on you. You want to put an album out, so you start trying to go and do things of the world to get an album put out. And that shit ain't going to help you. That shit ain't going to do nothing for you. Hip-hop got no place in this truth, period. Matthew 13:33, take ye heed, watch and pray, for ye know not when the time is. Stay watching, stay praying. Mark 13:35, watch ye therefore, you know what? Let me read on. Take ye heed and watch and pray, for ye know not when the time is. For the Son of Man is as a man taking a far journey, who left his house and gave authority to his servants to every man his work, and commanded the porter to watch. That's us. The brothers that's in the faith doing the work. You're as stewards of the gospel. The Most High gave us the authority, or Yahushua gave us authority over the house to watch. Right? It says here, he gave authority to his servants and to every man his work, and commanded the porter to watch. So we supposed to watch, report, tell the flock what's going on, and as well as doing the work, preaching the gospel. Watch ye therefore, for ye know not when the master of the house cometh, at evening or at midnight, or at the cock crowing, or in the morning. And what I say unto you, I say unto all, watch. There you go. Watch is all over the place. Let's see here. There's another one I want to grab, the main one. Listen to this. 1 Corinthians 16:13. Watch ye, stand fast in the faith, quit you like men, be strong. We're supposed to do all those things, right? Colossians 4:2. Continue in prayer and watch in the same with thanksgiving. Be grateful for what the Most High gave us in this truth. When you see us out there preaching the gospel on Saturdays, you see all them numerous hundreds of people going by, sleep, gone, zombies. 2 Timothy 2:4 and 5. But watch thou in all things, endure afflictions, do the work of an evangelist. A lot of people got a problem with that. They don't want to do the work of an evangelist. They want to just eat, drink, get all the truth, and then try to be deep in the barbershop. That ain't why the Most High gave you the truth. But watch thou in all things, endure afflictions, do the work of an evangelist, make full proof of thy ministry. So to all you that say you ain't got nothing to prove, you're lying. You do got something to prove. You got to prove it to the Lord. You have to be proved. As the scripture says, every man shall prove his own work. So get off your ass already. But watch thou in all things, endure afflictions, do the work of an evangelist, make full proof of thy ministry. You can't make full proof of my ministry. You got to make full proof of your ministry. Finally, 1 Peter 4:7. You know what? I'm going to read both of these. 1 Peter 4:7. But the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer. The end is close. What should you be doing? Revelation 3:3. Remember therefore how thou hast received and heard, and hold fast and repent. If therefore thou shalt not watch, I will come on thee as a thief, and thou shalt not know what hour I will come upon thee, as a thief in the night. And in another scripture says, as a snare shall it come upon all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. So, you have to be very, when you're in this truth, you got to keep your eyes single, as the saying goes. Now, I'm going to go back to this. I'm going to hit a few of these scripts off the comment board from the brothers. Get that early morning blood going. GMS Harakah, Isaiah 62:6. I have said, watching upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. If you are part of the truth, you're supposed to be doing that. You one of the watchmen, you're supposed to never be holding your peace. There's always something to discuss, always topics to bring out. I have said, watching upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. Ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silence. You saying you a son of the living God, you a prince of the power. All right, then why you holding your peace? You never supposed to hold your peace day nor night as far as doing the work. You know, finding something to get into as far as edifying the flock. And give him no rest till he establish until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth. So all you seasonal prophets, all you people that want to just preach during the summertime and the spring, you're going off. The Lord saying what? Give him no rest till he establish Jerusalem until he give him no rest till he establish until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth. So until the Most High get us in the kingdom, you're supposed to be ready and on fire to do this work. We get out of the bed prophesying, man. That's just how it is. Can't even get up fast enough. We already ideas in our head while we sleep. We have to get out of bed. The Lord be like, get on up. So going back here, back to 1 Thessalonians 5:3, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. In the big news of America's comeback, they say. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. You know what's going on. Ye are all children of the light and the children of the day. We are not of the night, nor of darkness. Therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. We're supposed to watch and be sober, soberly minded. But they that are asleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. But let us, who are of the day, be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for an helmet, the hope of salvation. And we're prisoners of hope, and we hoping like hell. We ain't got to suffer destruction with these people. You know, the Most High opened our mind and brought us into the fold, brought us into the truth. You don't want to stay here and die with the LGBT, you know, the reincarnated spirits from Sodom and Gomorrah. You don't want to die with them. Bunch of demons. Verse 9, for the Most High has not appointed us to wrath. Right, the Most High hadn't appointed his elect to wrath, and Lord willing, we're a part of that. For the Most High has not appointed us to wrath, but to obtain salvation by our Lord Yahweh HaMashiach, who died for us, that whether we wake or sleep, we should live together with him. See, so even as we've been going into these last few weeks, even if you should have something come up and then you got to leave this world and go to the spiritual realm for a period of time, your works will follow you. And when the Lord comes, you'll be among that first group. You'll still be part of the first resurrection. Who died for us, that whether we wake or sleep, we should live together with him. Wherefore comfort yourselves together and edify one another, even as also ye do. See? Great stuff right there. So we're going to just go ahead and get into it now. Still a lot of great scriptures on the comment board. Shalom to all you Akim moderators and such. Welcome to the comment board. Let's just go ahead and hit this news. We're gonna go all the way back to, let's see here what night, and we're gonna go back a few days, and then we're gonna come up current. So first, May 20th, which today is the 23rd. So this is right here, May 20th. A lot of news. NBC Nightly News broadcast, May 20th, 2021. And usually, I thought about going to the news report first and then going backwards, but it's really kind of redundant doing it that way because you have a ceasefire agreement that's in place among the Palestinians and the Israelis, right? If we went first with that and then going backwards, it would kind of undo itself. So we want to build up to where we are today. So let's get into that. Plus, there's a lot of other news that would be needful. So let's check that out. Here we go. Hold on tight here. All right.
Breaking news tonight, a ceasefire in the Middle East after 11 days of deadly violence. Israel announcing a truce with Hamas, the militant group that controls Gaza, after the fighting has killed at least 230 Palestinians and 12 Israelis. Just moments ago, President Biden's reaction from...
I'll tell you what, we're gonna restart this. Let me refresh it. Just hold on there. Let me refresh that. Oh yeah, by the way too, the water to everybody that said, you know, they sent up prayers because I was feeling bad and whatnot. Feeling a whole lot better. You know, the water for that. A whole lot better. Still not quite all the way back 100%, but hey, as close as we need to be. It's all good. Come on, man. Refresh.
Breaking it.
Alright.
Breaking news.
Alright. Hold on, y'all. Read one of these scriptures while we wait. This is Kazak Ban Yehowadah, Ecclesiastes 33 verse 1. There shall no evil happen unto him that feareth the Lord, but in temptation even again he will deliver him. Fire. See, you gotta stay following the Most High. Keep your eyes single. That's the only thing that's gonna profit you or benefit you in these days. All the rest of this shit in the world, who cares? Who cares? Alright, here we go.
Breaking news tonight, a ceasefire in the Middle East after 11 days of deadly violence. Israel announcing a truce with Hamas, the militant group that controls Gaza, after the fighting has killed at least 230 Palestinians and 12 Israelis. Just moments ago, President Biden's reaction from the White House after pushing for an end to the hostility. Also, COVID vaccinations have said you need a booster shot, what the CEO of Pfizer was saying. The anti-Asian hate crimes law signed by President Biden. The new protections after a rise in attacks. The 11-year-old who fought off an alleged kidnapper speaking out how her quick thinking helped police identify the suspect in the TV show that gave her the idea. Our journey across America to Seattle, my exclusive with the mayor, how the nation's first COVID epicenter reversed course to lead the charge for community immunity. And my conversation with Steve,
which is a horse shit.
Alaska Airlines, what he says about how much longer masks they required on planes, plus the COVID precautions to expect on planes at hotels and theme parks this summer travel season. This is NBC News, Lester Holt, across America.
Like, I'd really want to fucking get on a ride wearing a goddamn mask.
From Seattle,
Fuck
the
you.
center of innovation and technology in a place having notable success in vaccinating its population. What the mayor here told me about reaching community immunity in a few minutes. But first, there's breaking news as we come on the air. A ceasefire slated to be taking effect right now between Israel and Hamas after an 11-day-long conflict that left death, misery, and flattened neighborhoods in Gaza and traumatized Israeli communities under a deadly barrage of daily rocket fire. Just a short time ago, President Biden applauding the truce and calling it an opportunity as the world holds its breath that the peace can take hold. Richard Engel is on the ground.
New world order.
After more than 4,000 Hamas rockets fired indiscriminately in Israeli cities, killing at least 13 Israelis, and Israeli airstrikes on Gaza in retaliation, killing more than 230, including at least 65 children. Tonight, a ceasefire. Israel's security cabinet said it unanimously
Looks like Syria.
an initiative for Israel and Hamas to simultaneously stop their attacks.
Looks like Aleppo, doesn't it?
Biden also speaking out late tonight.
My conversation with President Netanyahu
A new world order.
current hostilities to a close.
But many
A microscopic tag to be implanted in everyone.
was just defending itself after Hamas fired first. This college student saying every several months Hamas decides it wants to shoot at us.
Liar.
Nicole, her house hit by a rocket just today, saying we've had so many ceasefires.
Goddamn gutter rats.
Happens again. But Palestinians argue Israel provoked this round with a police raid on Muslims praying in Jerusalem. And many...
You hear that? And as we keep bringing out, every time something happens over there like this, it just reveals these people a little more because there's no way possible. It's not in the scriptures, and the people of the Lord go home, finally, bless you, Now, when people finally go home, you're going to have a ceasefire. It's supposed to be peace forever. So we know you're not the real people. And then you got another telling thing. You got these people, you had to go raid their mosque because they praying to their false gods. That shit would never happen if the Israelites is home. Never. At any time. But these little ceasefires, you know, like we said, this is just another another one of the birth pains, having to suffer, you know, watch this little shit going back and forth, man. Because eventually the full World War III is going to come. As a matter of fact, Russia said that they were not going to tolerate any more civilian casualties. So they basically said, look, we're going to have to get involved in this shit. So which is great for us. Yup, there it is. Brother said it. The other brother said the ceasefire was because Putin threatened to get involved directly concerning the Palestinian casualties. You know, talking about the women and children getting killed up.
Palestinians say the rockets and clashes are their only tools to resist what they describe as Israeli apartheid that limits how and where they live. What's not in dispute that the people of Gaza paid heavily for this. Ahmed al-Munsi had become popular on YouTube as he comforted his children during the Israeli strikes. An Israeli airstrike next door killed him and his brother. You can hear family members praying for their lives, crying desperately. Today we reached their house, where a surviving brother told us he doesn't want the world to think of killed Gazans as just numbers, but victims of a conflict many in Gaza, just like in Israel, do not believe will end with this ceasefire. Egypt played a key role in moderating the deal and says it will send monitors to both Israel and Gaza to oversee its implementation. Lester?
Richard Angle, thank you. Chief Foreign Affairs Correspondent Andrea Mitchell joins us now. Andrea, this comes after President Biden spent several days calling for a ceasefire.
Lester, the president significantly escalated his pressure on Prime Minister Netanyahu yesterday after some fellow Democrats said he should be more forceful. In a statement now, Netanyahu is pointedly calling the ceasefire an Egyptian initiative, not crediting U.S. diplomacy. So what to watch for now? The two sides are already arguing over whether the ceasefire comes with promises for more Palestinian rights in Jerusalem. That could set the stage for conflict to erupt all over again at some point, just as it has before.
All right, Andrea Mitchell, thank you. As more Americans get the COVID vaccine, a timeline is now emerging for possible booster shots. 160 million people over 12.
Yeah, brought to you by Fucky,
one dose.
the child molester.
On where we are and what lies ahead.
As the U.S. races to reach
Bend over while I fuck you in the ass a little bit more, huh?
Vaccinate 70% of all adults by July 4th. Tonight, we may be closer to knowing when the fully inoculated could need that booster shot, if at all. The CEO of Pfizer saying perhaps as early as September for the frontline workers who received their shots back in December, a timeline that could easily shift.
There would be a need for a booster somewhere between 8 and 12 months.
We should know within a month or two if the booster is needed, but because the vaccine rollout was staggered,
More like the booty buster.
Only a handful of
Someone got fucked in the ass.
The fully vaccinated Iowa's governor signing legislation banning vaccine mandates in
Do you want to take it up the ass?
tonight or tomorrow, still uncertain as the face of our nation continues to change.
Yep, place aside them in Egypt spiritually.
Here in Seattle, officials are aggressively pushing toward community immunity with the goal of being the first big city in the country to be fully vaccinated, ahead of San Francisco. Over 3/4 of eligible residents
the
have
fag
received at least
area.
one dose of vaccine here. I talked to Seattle Mayor Jenny Durkan about the city's efforts to get there. You're seeing in this region
right.
for the first deaths.
Decisions of no
Do
value.
you remember what your feelings and fears were back then?
You know, Lester, no one can overstate how stunning it was for us. And we were one of the first cities in. We had no roadmap. But, you know, I think when history's written, they'll say that Seattle got it right. We are a city that believes in science. We believed in masking and vaccination and testing.
Where are you right now in your vaccinations?
Yeah, we're doing well in vaccinations. About 76% of residents who are eligible have been at least gotten their first dose, and almost 60% have been fully vaccinated.
So you exceeded the president's
Just keep
goal
coming
already.
back for
We
more.
exceeded the president's goal.
Are you using all the vaccine that you're getting?
The tipping point came a few weeks ago when we had more vaccinations than people who wanted it or who were signed up for it. So we're being really innovative and bringing the vaccine to where people are. We've been to ball games.
Yep. Here's your FEMA clinics.
We're starting an emphasis now to go into every school in the Seattle public schools so we can start getting our...
We don't need no education.
You know, it's a really important part of our plan. We have a plan now to get into every school to vaccinate our students. And we do that.
We don't need your dog control.
We want to make this easy for families.
Mayor Durkin says continued testing is critical to stopping the virus, especially as we head into the fall flu season. In just 60 seconds, have a quick thinking 11-year-old.
But there is no flu, it's only COVID now. Don't you know?
Story. We'll have it for you. President Biden today signing a bill to combat the growing number of hate incidents against Asian Americans, more than 6,600 in 1 year. Kristen Welker is at the White House for us. Kristen,
get off stage, goddamn kook, you know. You pissed me off. Fucking jerk. Get on my nerves.
One of them, President Biden signing legislation that aims to combat the recent rise in hate crime, particularly against Asian Americans. The bill improves hate crime tracking and bolsters support for state and local officials.
Tracking.
The president called hatred and racism the ugly poison that has long haunted our nation. It's worth noting this was one of the first large indoor gatherings of the Biden administration. Almost everyone without a mask. Lester.
Kristen Welker at the White House, thank you. In Florida this week, an 11-year-old girl was able to escape from a man. Police say tried to kidnap her, and did something else that's remarkable.
Probably a goddamn Amalekite.
It could have been written for TV.
So you know how they steal children and bring them to the sacrifice of the Bohemian Grove?
30-year-old Jared Paul Stanga attempted kidnapping of a child under 13 and aggravated assault and battery.
Esau, is that you?
There's video of the attack at a school bus stop that led to the suspect. 11-year-old Melissa Bonall, who fought off her knife-wielding abductor, had the presence of mind
going to the motherfucking bus stop.
She was playing with blue slime when he grabbed her, and she made sure to wipe some of it on him. That trick gave investigators just the evidence they needed. The suspect, when we caught him, had blue slime all over his own arms. She got the idea from her favorite TV show.
They wonder why we call them terrorists. We wonder why we call those in power child molesters.
New York Detective Olivia Benson posted, I think the SVU squad might have to add slime to their crime-fighting gear. From the show that ripped storylines from the headlines, this time one with a very happy ending. Kerry Sanders, NBC News. Tonight we continue to look at America's recovery, and here in the Seattle area with several Boeing factories and a major airline, the future of air travel hits home. Today I got an inside view of that future from the CEO of Seattle-based Alaska Airlines. Early morning.
Yep, wear two fucking masks.
To check in are growing.
Let me check your chip.
The vaccine has led to a rush of trips to reunite with family.
Yep, because you know your Immuniband is going to be replaced by the chip.
Business travel, the airline is desperately need to make money. First time I've been in an airport here.
Couldn't pay me enough to get on the fucking things.
Now returning to the skies, like many, you will travel less and continue with virtual meetings, a cost saving. Yeah, we'll travel more than I did during the pandemic. We'll travel less than I did prior. While they have seen an increase in leisure travel, 80% pre-pandemic.
It's like what Carlin says. It's airport security is just proving they can fuck with you at any time.
Carrier is hopeful that we'll see that double by year's end. New CEO Ben Minicru.
You know this is the most I watch of mainstream media, right? I don't even watch this shit. But this is for edification's sake.
With the pace of vaccinations increasing, we saw a significant step change in March. We actually, for the first time, achieved positive operating cash flow in March after 12 months of burning cash. So things are
He's dumb. He's dumb. What's in his head? He's dumb. He's dumb.
Survey last summer showed great hesitancy in allowing travel, with 72% saying they would limit trips. But now, as more people are vaccinated, a recent study says 84% of business travelers say they cannot wait to travel again without fear of getting COVID. Most say they have missed business travel.
It ain't even real.
I think I could easily say I've spent more hours on video conferencing than I have in the seats of airplanes. Are you worried that that may be the model going forward?
Maybe 6 months ago I was worried, but I think the more we get into it, we realize that people need that human interaction. I think companies feel like you still need that face-to-face. I think it's going to come back.
Would it be your hope that the government eventually drops the mask requirement on airplanes?
Absolutely. I think as vaccinations increase, I think we've proven scientifically that the environment on board the aircraft is safe. You know, with HEPA filters and the way that air circulates on the airplane. I'm hoping that the government does relax that policy. But for now, it is a federally mandated requirement, and we'll comply with that.
Free Helford, free Foxtrot, free. A looming pilot shortage is a concern for airlines worldwide. Experts say there could be as many as 34,000 open cockpit seats in the U.S.
Hey, I ain't wearing a mask to fly a plane where there's even less there.
At 65, you have a sister airline here, Horizon.
People are dumb as shit.
Maybe confront this pilot shortage before it bites you.
We started something called the Pathways Program several years ago, and the purpose of the Pathways Program was to be able to go out and find pilots and say you have not only a career to come in and work for Horizon, but you have a guaranteed interview to come work for a mainline airline. Alaska hires about a third of its pilots from Horizon.
Alaska pilot April Ayers is a graduate of the Pathways program. She's been at Alaska for more than 9 years.
Pathways, honestly, for me, changed my life in the sense that I was able to realize my career goal of being a major airline pilot in half the amount of time, and starting that career off, you know, at a younger age was everything I dreamt of when I was a child.
What was the thought in creating this aircraft, the commitment, as you call it?
The airplane is more about us, what we need to do as a company to make sure that it's top of mind, that we hold ourselves accountable, and we move the needle on racial diversity and equity over the next 5 years.
Alaska is optimistic they'll be back to normal traffic levels by summer of 22. And if you're traveling this summer, what COVID precautions should you expect along the way? We get that now from Tom Costello.
Just a few weeks till the great escape of 2021 gets underway, mostly on the honor system. It's highly unlikely you'll have to show your vaccine card in the U.S., though you will still need to wear a mask in airports, onboard planes, and inside stores that require them. Many hotels, not all, will let fully vaccinated people go maskless. So will many theme parks, including outdoors at Disney World, Universal Orlando, Hershey, SeaWorld, and Dollywood.
If your whole family is fully vaccinated, now is the time that you can
Fuck you.
towards normal.
While kids under 12 probably won't be vaccinated, experts say their risk is low. If you're visiting a national park, you can remove your mask if you're fully vaccinated. Keep it on if you're not vaccinated or you're indoors. If you travel abroad, you probably will have to show your vaccination card or a negative COVID test result. You'll need another negative test before flying home. Europe and the UK are opening slowly. Canada still closed. But beware, the State Department lists 80% of the world as level 4 do not travel. From Fiji to France, Argentina to Austria.
I would not go to the countries that are having major outbreaks. I wouldn't travel to India, to Nepal,
But it's a hoax.
Brazil.
A busy vacation season, but safer stateside. Tom Costello, NBC News, Great Falls, Virginia.
Up next for us tonight, bringing restaurants back. Stories of perseverance here in Seattle. And we're back now from Seattle. This city's restaurants, like so many across the country, were devastated by the pandemic. Now, as they make a comeback, a new hurdle.
But there won't be any balm for America. There will be no healing of Babylon.
Over to this corner here. In Seattle, he is restaurant royalty. But Chef Tom Douglas is changing with the times. Each of those screens goes in between. COVID closed all but a few of his 20 businesses last year. When the shutdown came, you had a staff of how many people? 860 or so. And what did that drop to? That was the 15th of March. On the 16th of March, I had 9. Now, Douglas is manning the grill, the Charlies are, and cooking up a comeback. A warehouse once used for catering, now a takeout joint. I'm planning on having 6 more restaurants, the last of my group, open by the end of the summer. Even as Seattle is bouncing back with activity, reopening is far from simple. Everything you can think of for a new restaurant has to be done for a reopening of a restaurant, so it can't.
Yeah, I want to stop it right there for a minute. Yeah, so just like we've been saying, don't get all messed up because they're saying, things back to normal. Because it's got to happen this way. We need that to happen because in order for the Lord to come as a thief in the night, they got to think that shit is regular like it's been, like the brother's saying right here, man. Trick bag all day. It's all good.
Happen overnight. During the first 6 months of the pandemic, more than 2,300 restaurants in Washington state closed permanently, 624 here in Seattle. Of those that stayed open doing takeout only, losses averaged $20,000 a month.
See, so the damage is done. A lot of people got took down due to the pandemic. And they still put the 5G towers up. They did everything they wanted to do.
Pandemic made me go into a panic. Chef Eduardo Jordan has 2 restaurants still doing takeout only. To stay afloat, he had to pivot. We invested a lot of time and energy into our online presence, that we're able to build a shop, that we can have things like our cornbread being able to ship out across the country, our pancake mixes, our brownies, pickles. He even launched a clothing line. Multiple revenue streams are now a permanent part of the business and a lifeline for employees like single mother Emily Beck. Once a server, she's now Jordan's retail sales coordinator.
It's meant that we have a sense of security. We have health insurance and bills get paid. And
Health is Basura. It's Basura care.
Just like I did. Tom Douglas is back up to 91 employees, but as he tries to ramp up, one of the biggest hurdles is finding staff. Restaurant workers got the shaft, so I think a lot of them are tentative to come back. Still, he's optimistic. I want to make our future bright. What happened, happened. That's in the rearview mirror. Let's move forward.
And Mark joining
Or is it more like objects in the rear view may appear closer than they are?
More than $28 billion to restaurant relief, but demand is incredible. They've already received applications for more than 69 billion. Restaurants have
69.
Mark, right there. Thanks so much. We'll take a break. Up next, a Seattle doctor's remarkable journey inspiring America.
Fuck you.
Finally, tonight we introduce you to a Seattle doctor who was able to fulfill her own dreams and is now inspired.
Terrorizing others. Injecting them.
Dr. Anissa Ebrahim stays.
You're a real terrorist. Congratulations. You're one with Esau.
I was 6 years old when I came to the United States.
She was a refugee from war-torn Somalia in search of a better life. Her family settled in Seattle in 1993 after spending a year inside a refugee camp. As a young girl, she was treated at
was it ICE?
the medicine part of it, but then there is the experience that you came.
Because the United States ain't no hero. They're the sponsor of terrorism. Now it's just medical terrorism.
Because I have those experiences, I am able to think about things and partner with my patient and share
I'm
experiences.
sure you've inoculated a lot of people, you
Now,
piece
nearly
of shit.
3 decades later, she leads the pediatric clinic as medical director.
A majority of the population that we serve are refugee and immigrant families.
Eleanor Graham was Dr. Ebrahim's pediatrician and one of the first to support her dream.
She just didn't have a real, firm determination about it.
For Dr. Ebrahim, it's important to share her story with young patients, especially those whose experiences mirror her own. Your story really represents hope and the possibility of things coming true.
It really represents just human potential when we think about respecting everyone and welcoming everyone.
See, they pushing that hard. They're respecting everyone, welcoming everyone, coming together on one umbrella. Just like Revelation 17 1 through 2 tell us that America made all the nations drunk with that wine. They love to push a false religion up in your face, but when you see these stories on the news and people overseas and here worshiping them damn false gods, like children and women dying and people dying by the thousands, that's the reason why. Don't feel sorry. The Lord gonna tear these people up, these damn false gods and idols.
Giving them the opportunity.
That is nightly news for this Thursday from Seattle. We'll see you from LA tomorrow. Thank you for watching, everyone. I'm Lester Holt. Please take care of yourself and each other. Good night, everyone.
Well, we good on that. So as a matter of fact, the next episode is from Los Angeles, so we can grab that. But like we saying, like the brother said, man, damn heathens forever chasing the American dream, and they coming over here. You're gonna get melted over here because you don't have. Look, the Islamists, all these different religions and nations that come over here. When the Lord comes with the angels, you don't have a ride. Your false god doesn't have any vessels. There's no way you can leave. You are gonna get burned up over here with the devils. So go ahead and come on over here and worship Buddha and worship your false gods, because they're gonna leave you here and you're gonna get melted. So it's whatever. It don't matter to us. Just don't want to look at you people. You're walking around in the earth wrapped up like a pig in a blanket. Face all wrapped up. It's annoying to be in 90-degree weather and then here comes some guy or some woman all wrapped up like a ninja. Just hold on, y'all. That's right. That's a good description. This is Fisher turned Hunter. Amos 5. Fisher turned Hunter. We'll read that part. Exodus 11:7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how that the Lord doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel. Just because you see a person with brown skin, dark skin, don't mean they one of us. And that lady clearly was a heathen. She had just a dead spirit. She looked like she could have been one of us, but she had that funny shaped head. Just weird. Good scripture. This is GMS Harakah, Psalms 96:5. For all the gods of the nations are idols, but the Lord, Yahweh, made the heavens. These other gods didn't make nothing. What did Cali create? Nothing. What did the God of Islam create? Nothing. Toilet. That's what toilet paper. That's what they made. And they're nothing, man. Anyway, let's move on to the next episode. This is from Friday evening right here. Same station, same news. NBC Nightly News from Friday, May 21st.
Tonight, the new clash is putting the fragile ceasefire in the Middle East to the test. New fighting breaking out at a holy site after the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas went into effect, but also scenes of celebration. Thousands in the streets. Our Richard Engel inside Gaza. Here in the U.S., the brawl in Times Square, the hate crime arrest for the beating of a Jewish man. Disturbing new body cam from that deadly arrest of Ronald Green. Green appearing to struggle to breathe on the ground.
That shit's fake.
His hands cuffed behind his back, and with a newly revealed autopsy found. New COVID cases in the U.S. falling at the lowest level in nearly a year. Also, the growing number of states banning mask mandates and rising concerns about mask guidelines for the office. Prince Harry opening up about his struggles with drugs and alcohol after the death of his mother, Princess Diana. Our journey across America to Los Angeles, the homeless
which Princess Diana was murdered.
Is the city doing enough? And the incredible bravery that earned a Korean War veteran the Medal of Honor. This is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt across America, reporting tonight from Los Angeles. Good evening, everyone. The iconic Santa Monica Beach, our backdrop this evening as we conclude our Across America journey in Los Angeles. The beauty belies a crisis here only exacerbated by the pandemic. I spoke to LA Mayor Garcetti about how the city is addressing homelessness, and we'll have some of that conversation ahead. But the Mideast is where we start again tonight in Israel and Gaza. Residents counting their losses and gingerly surveying the destruction as a shaky truce goes into a second night. The rockets that crisscross the skies and aerial bombardments now silent. Israel and Hamas claiming victory, but at what cost? Tonight tonight we have reporting from both sides of the conflict. Here's Richard Engel.
Gaza today is bruised and battered. 8,000 homes damaged or destroyed. Hamas did not win this fight militarily, claiming victory in the ruins because it kept firing rockets until the very end. During the peak of the fight.
Give me a break. That's just like you stupid Arabs. We have get victory in the middle of shut your ass up. Israel is blowing your ass up with them airstrikes. You throwing rocks. But you won a victory. No, you didn't.
And that's just it, you see. Pretty much, though, and, you know, you can always continue this. His brother, man, he'd be on fire every day looking at these events, you know, so that's one of his channels. He has quite a few of them, which is good, because you and I both know, though, that this ministry goes on every day, and we just bounce around on channels, so nonetheless, though, that's Montazat Bar, I believe that's his name. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Nonetheless, though, even more going on with the coronavirus hoax. UK travelers barred from Germany amid CV-19 variant spread. You know, more variants, you know, more lies. Britons will soon be barred from entering Germany after the county's Public Health Institute designated by the UK as a virus variant area of concern, you know. So, and I wanna be anarchy, you know, anarchy in the UK, man. You see, these fucking devils are catching hell everywhere. You know, that's why a man came by 3 different times in his car yelling shit at me because he knows it's true. His kingdom's going down. And we're just there as a reminder. Every fucking day is a constant reminder. CDC's absurd guidelines for summer camps are a recipe for dystopian fun. The Center for Disease Control's major easing of its mask use recommendation was a welcome development, giving Babylonians hope that logic can triumph over CDC's bureaucratic inertia and its COVID-era tendency to push the most severe restrictions on human activity at every turn. Now let's hope this outbreak of rationality proves contagious with the CDC and brings a major overhaul of the agency's absurd guidelines for summer camps. Yeah, like I'd really want to go there. Man, fuck you. It was already fucking hell to fucking go to camp, but it's even more worse now, you know, because you're stuck with this meaningless structure. Now you have to wear a mask while dealing with the crap. You know, and they really do push Christianity a lot at these fucking camps. In April, the CDC published guidance for operating youth camps that was the latest eye-rolling example of CDC maximization that conflicts with what we've learned about the CV-19. Before we examine the CDC guidance, let's review some of the key things that we know about CV-19 that we didn't in March 2020. CV-19 presents little risk to all children, but, you know, the teachers get to take off their masks, but the kids can't. They get called things like a dink or whatever for, you know, not wearing their mask. Outdoor transmission probably pretty much never happens, so there's no transmission of it outside, right? Surface transmission isn't a material source of spread, so again, vaccines are abundantly available. Well, if you believe in it. You'd have to be stupid to believe in it. CV-19 cases and deaths are in a free fall. 2-layer masks should be worn at all times, indoors and out, except for eating, drinking, and swimming. What a bunch of horse shit. 2-layer, don't allow close contact games and sports. Avoid sharing of objects such as toys, games, and art supplies. Separate children on buses by skipping rows. Divide children into cohorts and then keep them away from other cohorts. Children should stay 3 feet apart away from kids in cohort and 6 feet away. You see how this all maximization? Here's Maximilian, you know. Meanwhile, against a backdrop of rapidly vanishing CV-19 19 infections, because it ain't even real. Across the country, camp staff will have had more than ample opportunity to be fully vaccinated against CV-19 before the kids arrive. But hey, if you just wear a mask or you just get it, you know, you get the injection, you don't have to worry about anything. Right. Remember, even before all this got started, adults take away all the fun in being a kid. And hey, there's more. CDC investigating mild reports of potential heart problems following
President
CV
Biden,
vaccination.
An array of issues, but more centrally, the question of the gas.
More gaslighting.
He did say we could have good news from Colonial within the next 24 hours. Meanwhile, the press conference was to update us on CDC and some of the new recommendations, particularly for the Pfizer vaccine. It's been approved for children 12 to 15 years old. The question now, of course, is should parents go through with this? We want to bring in an immunologist along with the Allergy and Asthma Network, Dr. Purvi Parkey.
Purvi, the pervert.
I hope I'm pronouncing that properly.
Hey, Purvi.
Doctor, 12 to 15-year-olds.
How long have you been
comfortable now with this? That it was a 14-0 vote, so obviously the CDC has a lot of confidence that this is going to be okay.
Yes, absolutely. You know, we really
it's
need
absolutely
to protect
great.
our children. 1 in 5 coronavirus.
Yeah. Enough of that horse shit. The Center for Disease Control is investigating a small number of young adults and adolescents who may have experienced heart problems. Also, you mean post-mortem is still a side effect, but nothing to worry about. It's a very small number. Following the CV vaccine. Through the agency stressed that it's unclear the vaccine is responsible. Yeah, that's a lot of damage control. And hey, you know, there's even more here, and I'm going to try to pull it up because they are really doing a lot of damage control here. You know, they pretty much, let's see if I can find it. Yeah, there's volcanoes going on in the Congo. Just trying to find something here. If it ain't the fake shootings, I mean, I can't really even find it, but they're doing damage control on something else. Yeah. I can't seem to find it on here, and I know it was on the news app on the phone, but not here. Oh wait, they have a search button here. Maybe I should do that. Okay, so wow. Okay, so that won't even be there. Oh, sometimes you just nope. Yeah, they're really doing damage control here. Okay, so here we go. Forbes is the one that had the article. So here we go, and they're just doing everything they can to clean this up, you know. CV-19 vaccine magnet challenge. Video claims magnets stick to arms after vaccination, you know. So here's what they're going to do to discredit it. Talks about trying to make a claim stick. Some people are now assessing on social media that magnets will stick to your arm after you've gotten the shot. It has nothing to do with yourself being so attractive, though. Instead, the claims that CV shots metal into your arm, apparently enough to make magnets stick. This video has photos, for example, video posted on Instagram and Twitter showed a woman saying, here's the magnet, this is the arm I got the Pfizer in. So pretty much, and by chip, she presumably didn't mean potato chips, banana chip, poker chip, cow chip. She meant a metallic microchip, the old tracking chip in the Mexican. So they're doing everything they can to clear up damage control. And this is just more of their gaslighting. I knew I'd find the article, it didn't come up in the news break. But hey, would you like to go to a graduation while wearing a mask? I can't believe that people actually are. And that shows you how fucking stupid people are. More stupid than stupid. More stupid than stupid. The stupidity of wearing a mask. Shasta College graduates 320 students. Yeah. Man, this ain't a time. Oh, look at this. Somebody actually says the same thing. Take that stupid mask off, scam. Because they know this is a scamdemic. Volcano eruption in eastern Congo sparks humanitarian crisis as buildings burn. Thousands evacuate. You think that they ain't going to do the same with the California fires? The Mount Nagoro volcano erupted on Saturday. Oh, and don't forget, not too long ago, only those that had the vaccine were allowed to escape on a boat from the other volcano. Remember that? I do. A nearby town called 2.2. So here's some video here. I'll just pull this up. Burning inside! Burning inside! So indeed, this is what's going on in the real world. Hot lava. But wait, there's more. Australia's defense chief bans all woke events which distract from military's mission. So indeed, here they go. Pretty much the military, the medical martial law. And then, of course, like everything else, though, you got your queer shit. A lot of fag shit going on. Because there's a lot of queers in the military, So, more faggot objectives. A lot of faggot shit, The latest controversial, perhaps even embarrassing incident to draw media attention reportedly involved a Monday morning tea event attended by top brass of the Defense Ministry to mark the International Day against homophobia, biophobia, interphobia, and transphobia. Which really, though, are all homophobes, or what do you call that? Well, there's a word for it, I'm trying to remember, but it's not homophobe, but pretty much they're oxymorons anyways, because ain't nobody scared of a fucking faggot or transgender, Unless that transgender happens to be a wrestler and can beat up on the women because he claims to be a woman and he's big, Nile Rose, the native beast, maybe then you might be scared of a faggot. Because that faggot, who the fuck is going to beat up that faggot? How many Chinas do you know running around, man? There ain't enough Ronda Rouseys of China, so that faggot's going to win in just about everything. Which is why, obviously, AEW has, kind of scheduled him and other stuff, Because let's face it, though, trans testicles, there's no such thing. Thoughts on the new normal and what we're losing as a society? Yeah. The 2 last years have greatly shaken Babylon, and our country will never be the same. As a result, if you would have told someone 2 years ago that in 2021 millions of people would run around wearing masks all day and that the federal government would be relentlessly pushing a large-scale mass injection campaign, that person would probably have thought you were nuts. But this is now the new normal, the new world order. Exit light, enter night. Yeah, well, exactly, man. Enter Sandman, because here we are. Outcry after AP fired journalists over supporting Palestine. So, Associated Press, which is run by the Amalekites, well, because she kind of supported the Palestinians, well, they had to get rid of her. The U.S. news agency headquartered in New York City reportedly fired her after Wilder had been targeted by extreme Zionist media outlets for her pro-Palestinian activism in college days. Wilder told the British newspaper Guardian that she was terminated for violating the company's social media policies, kind of like the medical misinformation policy that YouTube has. Very similar, you can't tell the truth. That these bastards dwelling in Ashdod, which everything's become Zionism if you hadn't noticed, though. Israeli state launched an airstrike on a building that housed several news organizations, including Associated Press and Al Jazeera in Gaza City on Saturday, amid the latest round of Israeli terrorism in the area. The entire 12-story building collapsed, according to Associated Press. The Israeli state forces said the bombing the building because Hamas was placed military assets, which is a lie because they control Hamas. Nonetheless, though, you see that the war just goes on and on. But hey, there's more. Meanwhile, back in Syria, because they've been doing this to Syria for so long, QSD militia kidnaps a number of citizens in Deir Resort countryside. These same Israeli terrorists. Because you got to remember, these Israeli terrorists took the Golan Heights and have been marching their way into Syria, for the Greater Israel Project. U.S. occupation forces backed QSD militia launched during the past hours storming campaigns targeting the town of Jarad Bun in Deir Resort Western countryside. Local sources told Syrian Arab news agency that armed groups affiliated to QSD militia launched a raids campaign in the town of Jarad Bun in the western countryside. Deir Resort kidnapped a number of citizens and took them to an unknown destination, to pretty much haul them off to detention centers, sponsored by the U.S. and the Israelis, which control the U.S. So, like everything else, though, we are in Revelation Times, which is an older name of my channels, but those got taken down. So, I'm just Israelite Foreigner 3 through 9 on YouTube and Israelite Foreigner rating on BitChute. Revelation chapter 16, verse 10, it reads, "And the fifth angel poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast." In case you don't know what the beast is, not just the Mesopotamian area, but all of the EU and pretty much the United States, who heads it, and his kingdom was full of darkness, and they gnawed their tongues for pain, and blasphemed the power of heaven because of their pains and their sores, and repented not of their deeds. When they see this place coming up in remembrance no more, which I actually talked about that at camp this morning, with another guy who had actually approached my camp before, Of course I'm not going to be rude to him, I'm not talking about the Edomite that was shouting shit out the window, but the other one that encountered me, who he's come to me before, And of course I'm going to be, I'm going to answer questions or whatever, because that's what you do at a camp. Even though, he probably is an Edomite, but at the same time, though, hey, we're declaring this to the world, And when you're out there in the street ministry, you're going to encounter people more than once. And the sixth angel poured out his vial on the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, by the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. And we know that Gomer and all his bands, Turkey has been drying up the Euphrates River and cutting off the Syrian people. And I saw three unclean spirits like frogs coming out of the mouth of the dragon, out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. Which again, is talking about, the whole power structure of Esau Edom, the government. For they are spirits of devils working miracles. You always hear about miracles of herd immunities, the miracles of, patriotism, and so on, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world to gather them to the battle of that great day of Yahweh Almighty. And That's what we're doing, is we're hastening the coming day of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. We are definitely hastening this time. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth, which is what we're doing when we go out there and we teach. And keepeth his garments, by being diligent. Lest he walk naked, meaning that you just don't know anything anymore. You don't know what you're talking about. And they see his shame, because, man, you fell out and everybody could see it. You don't want to be those people. And he gathered them together into a place in the Hebrew tongue, Armageddon, which means mountain of troops. So he gathers his mountain of troops to battle there in the valley of Yehoshaphat. That's what's going on now. This shit between Gaza and Hamas and Hezbollah and Iran and all that. All these nations are going to come in, and the biggest one out of all is that Magog, which is Russia, is going to intervene. And that's exactly why there's a ceasefire agreement. Because they told them then, hey, if this continues, we're going to have to get involved with that. And you know as well as I do that the Israeli state will fear Putin, will fear Magog. Because that's the one that's going to destroy Babylon anyways. They're going to take the Israeli state and they're going to take Babylon. Because the Most High has given them, And that's what's coming. So I hope all this has been edified like everything else. Is just something, a little extra I wanted to do, You always want to go the extra mile, especially on a feast day like today, which is the Feast of First Fruits. So I hope this has been edifying. For that, I want to say Barak of the Yahweh, Barak of the Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, Wa Abab Babal, and Barak Atam Jehovah Elect. Shalom.